Australia Day done. After
Yep.
Australia Day, the explosion of property happens, and now we're into it. It's property time from this week onwards. What's happening with real estate?
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Are we going to do Friday Frenzy every Friday? Is that the question?
Yeah, it's Friday Frenzy. So every Friday, Mark and I have our morning coffee and we go, what are we going to talk about on Morning Minutes? What are we going to talk about? And a couple of weeks ago, we did a show called Friday Frenzy, and we just talked about everything, stuff that happened during the week, stuff that's happening in our lives,
Goss.
what's going on around the world. And we thought that's what we're going to do. So every Friday, guys, when you've got Mark and I, you are going to you're going to have us as Friday Frenzy. I don't know what Mark's pointing at.
You and me. Friday
Oh,
Frenzy.
you and me. Oh, okay.
Us two.
So there you go. So that's what we're going to do. So if there's things that you would like us to draw attention to during the show, as Mark often mentions, it is a live show, guys. Just put stuff in here. Good morning, Mr. Luby. Put stuff in here, and we're happy to have a little chitter chatter about it. What's the first topic?
Well, after Australia Day is when generally the whole industry is back. So
Yeah.
it's a bit patchy with real estate agents from Christmas Day up to Australia Day. Some take a week off here and there. Some take that block off and they don't have any other holidays through the year.
Yeah.
Solicitors are sort of the same. Properties coming to market is sort of the same. So now it's like the official, I think, as a buyer, you'll start to see officially all the properties being loaded into the portals coming into the marketplace happening. So it's quite, I think you'll see a lot of stock the next week.
Yeah, it's going to be
Exciting time of
interesting.
year.
Stock levels are going to be really interesting because the real estate market's been all over the shop. It's been like a bit of a roller coaster. And we've seen an unusual amount of buyers at this time of the year and an unusually low level of stock. Although in saying that, I've had a massive listing. Actually, the last 2 weeks, I've had a big couple of weeks of listings. So it'd be interesting to see if that's the norm. Are we going to see a lot more stock hitting the market or not? So let's, watch this
what
space.
else, Lisa? I reckon sometimes people are even going to delay a little bit more. G'day from Serbia, Stanko Polikovic, good school friend when I was in the school days, but he wasn't at my school. Luke, good morning.
Good morning,
guys.
guys.
Yeah, look, I think it's also interesting, Lisa, because it seems like stuff's just been delayed due to COVID. So people lost a bit of their life for a week, stuffed up their plans.
Yeah.
And I think you may even find it stuffed up people's property plans. So rather than them saying, bang, we're going to hit it that week after Australia Day, you may find it a little bit more delayed than it normally is.
Let's just draw on that for a sec, because this morning, guys, to those of you that have tuned in, we are doing our Friday Frenzy. We're going to be talking about absolutely everything today, all the goss, what's going on the streets. But just on COVID, and I don't want to spend much time on it because everyone's sick to death of it.
Yeah.
But it is going to be the year of chaos. Like, I'm confident of that.
You reckon?
And, in terms of, I've got a property that was brought to market a couple of weeks ago, put the signboard out the front, and then the tenants got COVID, and then the next tenant that's living in there got COVID. So we've had 2 weeks of no access and a signboard out the front. I think, at the moment, guys, signboards and days on market, just forget about it. Don't let that be an indicator, because there's a great 2-bedroom apartment in an awesome spot in DY, and we haven't even had one buyer come through because of...
And normally they've sold in that 2 weeks. So people may be thinking...
Forget about days on market.
They may be thinking it's a dud because it hasn't sold the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You haven't even shown it.
We haven't even shown it.
So that's something for buyers to keep an eye out for.
I actually have got an offer, a sight unseen offer on that property, pending an inspection.
G'day, David Good. So the most amazing ride-on mower footage he produces on a daily basis. Vel Vahakovic. Yep, absolutely. So that's what's happening with property, with listings this week.
Yep.
Do you think it's going to be a high-growth market? Everyone out there, I'd love to know what you think. Do you think it's going to be a high-growth market? The property market, as a wrap for 2021, did about 35 to 45% in a lot of beachside suburbs, a lot of suburbs in Sydney. People have built in an enormous amount of equity, and it's given people confidence. It's given consumers confidence. So if you've just made $100,000 in your property, or 200 or 300, like some people, it's given you a little bit of an artificial kick,
Yeah.
where you may go out and take a little bit more time off through Christmas, which I think some people have done. You may go out and buy, consume, or renovate your property. So I think there's that consumer confidence is definitely up, even though we're a bit knocked around because of COVID.
But I'll tell you one thing that I'm now we've seen the trends of what COVID does with the real estate market, and there's no doubt that as COVID gets worse and case numbers get higher, it actually does drive that real estate market. I took a call last night from someone who's wanting to sell as quickly as possible. I'm going to appraise their property on Monday. They said, Lisa, how quickly can you get it on the market? We're sick and tired of things. We're 100% moving up to the North Coast. We haven't finished the renos and we don't care to. We just want to get the property on the market and get out of here. And I'm hearing that more and more now. So as COVID numbers spike, it seems to pick the property market up.
It does. COVID's been kind. Every time we lock down, property prices go up.
To real estate.
Quick comment on what Luke's talking about.
Yeah.
I find people are happy to do business remotely. People are happy to do business remotely.
100%.
Any
We're
business,
used to it now.
any business remotely.
Yeah.
I'm talking, they will buy a property for $1 or $2 million, and it's not a can you believe it or it's a joke. It's like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So they'll buy something in Queensland while Queensland's got a lockdown, or they'll buy something in Melbourne when Melbourne's got a lockdown.
Yes.
Not see it, not go through, purchase. And that, if you heard that 5 or 10 years ago, you'd go, mate, you've got rocks in your head. And now it's just the common thing.
It is. It's quite a normal thing. And I have sold properties before, Luke, sight unseen. Let's move on to the next topic, Friday Frenzy. We're just talking about everything, all the goss, everything that we're seeing. We're going to talk a little bit about renos, Mark.
Let's talk about renos.
Let's talk about renos.
So that money that people have got built into their properties from equity, they're reinvesting back into their homes a lot. So, mini skips, you see, that's normally where it starts. A mini skip turns up and the utes turn up and off the renos go. I think that's very common to reinvest. It's the property's been good to them. So why not reward the property? Why not reward yourself? So people putting in a pool, people doing a kitchen, bathroom reno, people putting in the movie cinema at home, whatever that may be, they've made some nice equity, so they're artificially confident with that.
And people aren't travelling and all of that sort of stuff as well. But I just want to draw on for a moment, because this is a question that I get asked all the time as an agent. What do I need to do to the property to bring it to market? People look around and they think, shit, I should have, we should have done the kitchen. We should have done the bathroom. We should have done all this stuff. Now we're going to sell. What do we do? I'm recommending that, particularly in this market where it's still very volatile, because we don't know what the market's going to bring, right? No one's been through this situation before with COVID. We just don't know what this next round is going to bring with the property market. We do the least amount possible. We paint, we carpet, and we just Mickey Mouse the property up and get it looking great. We can style it, but we don't go ripping out kitchens and bathrooms. Trades are really hard to get. So, ordinarily where we used to be able to turn a really, really great little kitchen around maybe in 6 or 8 weeks, now it's pushing out to maybe 3 to 4 months. And also materials are very expensive as well. So we don't want to fall short there. Only to find out, Mark, that, when the property's ready in 3 or 4 months' time, that
Any studio problems.
We've got some sun coming in, thank you. Only to find out in 3 or 4 months' time that that market may have come off. So I reappraised a property last week, and there'd been a 10% shortfall there from when I'd appraised it back in November. So just watch that, guys.
That's a hard topic.
We do the least amount possible right now to make sure that the property is presenting really well, but we're not ripping out major rooms.
I had a bank valuer yesterday I was talking to saying their valuation went down on the property in the last quarter. That's a hard topic.
Yeah.
I think you may have found that your property has slightly corrected. I hate saying that as a real estate agent, but I think you may find that high in that third quarter of last year peeled back just a little bit. I haven't seen a lot of that in the media, but I've felt that in the market. And I think it's not a positive thing to talk about, but it is reality.
Not only that, I've completely lost my line of thought just there. But yes, I agree. Like, just be really careful. Oh, I know what I was going to say. If there's anyone out there that's watching that is looking to sell, and you've got a real estate agent at the moment that is coming to you with comps from before middle of November, be really careful, guys. Okay. I actually picked up a listing yesterday. The seller had come to me and said, but one of the local agents had come to me and said that my property was worth more than what you're suggesting. And I said, can you just go through the comps with me, please, that the agent had provided you with?
Yep.
And they were from September, October.
Bang.
Like, it's a whole different market, guys.
You're out straight away.
So, yeah, be careful of that. Next topic, Mark, we're going to be talking about what else? I want to talk about a couple of really
What did you do on Australia Day?
We had an awesome day. We actually took ourselves down to Barangaroo. If you have not been to that new precinct, get down there.
It's COVID friendly to walk around.
So cool.
Bit of a park there.
Yeah.
Got a bit of coffee.
We had some cocktails.
Really good food.
Yeah, a bit of food. Caught up with some friends. Wandered around. Did a massive walk.
Saw a mate sitting at a table by himself.
Yeah.
Which I could never do. And
we were talking about that. It's like, could you sit and have a cocktail on your own?
So we sat with him and for a couple of hours and had a bit of a chat, which was cool. But Australia Day was another day off after the wonderful holidays.
And we're just saying what a nice day that particular day was. We don't have an opinion, guys, on whether or not that should be on a different day, just so that we don't get shot down by a whole lot of people. It
was a good day off.
It was a lovely.
Full stop.
It was a lovely day off.
And for me, again, like we said at the beginning of the show, it just marks that let's get into the year.
Yeah. Let's talk about a couple of listings, Mark. Can we talk about some great stock coming on?
Freshwater, 990,000 for a 1-bedroom unit. I just saw a sale there in Albert Street.
Oh my
$1 million. And this is a 50-year-old red brick block.
Hang on a sec. Didn't you sell a one-bedder in Queenscliff a couple of years ago?
2.2 million, the highest one-bedder ever sold in the Northern Beaches. That was huge in Queenscliff. But on a serious note, a red brick block, Freshwater, $1 million, like 990. I never thought. Like I joked about it. My whole life in the industry, I joked about a one-bedder getting $1 million. There is a common one. No view.
Wow.
Right? That is just huge. Sasha, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Guys, I want to talk about a couple of really, really good listings that are coming on. As I mentioned, we've listed as an agency a significant amount of stock over the last couple of weeks. I've been absolutely flat chat with listings coming in. So stay tuned. And as you know, they all go first onto our social media, our pre-market opportunity to buy right there. Which brings me to being a buyer. We're going to cover that in a quick sec. A few that I want to point out. I've got 2 awesome listings coming on in Seaforth. It's not ordinarily an area where I list, but I've had 3 listings there over the last few weeks. But one of them is an awesome property coming on, Jewel Street access, 800 metres squared. Stay tuned for that one. It's an awesome cracker listing. And a DY house as well. As I said, I've listed quite a few. We won't go through them all here. A DY house just listed on a big corner block, 600 metres squared. It's going to have a guide of 1.95 with a pool. So stay tuned for that one.
And Friday Frenzy 2022 conversation. I love how your hair blows in the wind.
I've got like this gold halo.
Your hair blowing in the wind is
right? And then I've got this gold halo.
That's question.
Yes.
2022, people buying, people borrowing money. Is it the wrong time to buy at the top? Is it the top of the market and the wrong time to buy at the top of the market?
Okay. Look,
I would be really reluctant. I can understand the psychology of a buyer being really reluctant, saying, I'm not going to buy at the top.
Okay, but when do you know how do you know when the bottom is?
We're buying at the top.
Yeah. But that's not what I want to talk. So we are buying at the moment. This is a really interesting topic. I'm not going to name names. We've been dealing with some of the country's best agents. It's been a very, very interesting exercise. It's been a very interesting exercise.
I'm going to come back to Chantal.
Calls not being returned.
I'm going to come back to you, Chantal. Please hold. Yep.
Emails not being answered. It's been appointments being missed. I tell you what, boy oh boy,
You've been learning about.
it's been interesting when the shoe's on the other foot,
You've
guys.
been learning about the best agents in the country's practice on how they're dealing with you as a buyer, and they don't even know it's you. So that's not just, it's just how they're dealing with people.
It's been a very, very interesting exercise. That's all I'm going to say. And I tell you what, it's really
some are great, but some are sloppy jalopy.
Yeah, that's a good analysis.
Yeah,
that's a good analysis. But it's been a real eye opener. And I know as an agency, in terms of inquiry, in terms of responsiveness, and in terms of going the extra mile, we are. I can't imagine that there are many agents in the country or the world that are as responsive as what we are as an agency.
Yeah, that's gold standard.
Sheetal, what's Sheetal got to say?
Sheetal's asking about low stock in the market. Now, to give you a bit of an idea of, and I like my numbers, guys, but to give you an idea of numbers, Northern Beaches property, and Sheetal, I know you're asking about the western suburbs, but I'm going to use these numbers as a reference for you because they'd be consistent through the state. We came into Chrissy weeks before Chrissy, running 680 to 690 properties on realestate.com. That went down to 320 properties through the thick of Christmas because a lot of people came off the market, so there was half. And now,
which I actually think is a great time to go on the market.
Which I think was a brilliant time to go on. And I think it was a brilliant time to buy.
So many buyers around.
Now, I should talk about buying on the top of the market in a second. I didn't cover what I wanted to say there. But Sheetal, what you will find is more will come on now. Now, what's interesting is my metric used to be realestate.com a lot, or domain.com.au, depending on the region that you are. That metric's changed because a lot of agents now are courageous and they're happy to sell the property first on their portal, which is their website, or sometimes if they're good with social, not a lot, but if they're good with social, on their socials. So, Sheetal, be careful that you're not just looking on realestate.com and just looking on Domain. The lead agents in the area, the agents that are selling a lot of properties in the area, make sure you're on their database and make sure you're talking to them.
I'm laughing because, guys, as we mentioned a short while ago, Mark and I are buyers at the moment. I like what we would do to be able to buy something that is off market or pre-market, as we call it. Oh my goodness! I just
did a survey
because I like, no disrespect to the portals, we use them a lot. Please don't take this the wrong way, but if I'm looking on realestate.com or Domain, in my mind, I'm already thinking it's too late. It's too late. Too many people have already seen this property. I have struggled, Mark, to find agents that are listing properties away from those portals. Where the hell do you find that? Obviously, I do lots on social media, but a lot of agents are not doing the pre-market. As a buyer, it is extremely frustrating. To not be able to find these properties anywhere. I don't know where they are. And I don't want to use a buyer's agent.
But more properties are definitely coming on. They are definitely coming on first before. And the reason why, guys, is realestate.com charges about $3,000, $3,500 one-off just to put it on realestate.com. Domain charges about $2,500. If you're doing both, you're spending about $5,000 or $6,000. So owners are more reluctant now just to put their toe in the sand and say, look, can you get through your buyers in your database?
That's on the beaches. You ask the agents in the eastern suburbs how much marketing is. It's upwards of $15,000.
Yeah. So to answer Sheetal's question, talk to your active agents, get on their database, get your email to them, check out their website. And find an agent that's powerful on social and follow them as well. Yeah,
absolutely. And Luke, that's a really good point. You've got to get on the ground and you've got to go hard and know every agent. It's a really, really different process when you are the buyer. Trust me, because Mark and I are at the moment. It's a really different process. I have not got the time to go ringing around 20 different agents to say, hey, have you got any pre-market properties? This is what we're looking for. You know,
You have to.
it's much easier
have
lying
to.
on your couch
Yeah.
and it's just coming up on your social media.
You have to go to open houses.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to check them out, suss them out, intro yourself, talk to the local agents.
No,
As Luke says,
I'm sorry. It comes down to convenience, and I don't find that convenient as a busy person.
Yeah, I know, but there's going to be some inconvenience to register on all these databases. So you're going to have to spend hours per week to be out there like a buyer's agent. You've got to act like a buyer's agent, and you've got to dedicate 5, 10 or 15 hours a week to get out there, to get your name out there with agents, to get stuff pre-market.
It's been a very interesting exercise. Follow agents on socials. You'd be shocked at how many agents are not putting their properties first onto their social media. Like, it would blow your mind. As I said, shoes on the other foot now. But yeah, it's been a very, very interesting exercise.
Is that a wrap?
That's a wrap. I'm loving Friday Frenzy.
I think that's a wrap.
Talk about everything.
Have we missed anything for the Friday wrap this week that's changed? No, Novak Djokovic is gone. Tennis Australia.
Gossip has calmed down, is what you mean, Mark.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Tennis Australia is happening. Australia Day's done.
Yeah.
Next week he's just going to be short month Feb, and I think we're going to be ready to rumble into 2022.
I agree.
Anything else, Lisa?
There was something else I wanted to cover. I don't know why I've got like brain fog this morning. I haven't finished drinking my coffee. I think that's why. Hope everyone that is sitting at home watching this in isolation is feeling well. Chin up, guys. I think this round of COVID has pretty much washed through most of the community, although I feel like I'm dodging bullets all over the place. Everyone around me has had it. Touch wood, I haven't had it yet. But, you know, best wishes to everyone that is suffering at the moment with it. Get well soon, guys. Hopefully we brought some entertainment to your phone.
And you know what? With COVID, there's three headphones. There's everyone talks about the physical side of COVID. There's the mental side of COVID, and there's the economical or financial side of COVID.
Yeah.
There's that financial side. Have you got the money to support yourself through that week and those times? Have you got the economical side of things, and that brain freeze where you can't actually socialise with people, talk to people, mix with people for that week? It really plays with people's minds. So there's three elements to COVID that I've learned. I had it, and certainly for me, being social with a family, I found it really hard just not to be around people. But good luck with it if you've got it at the moment.
Oh, I know one last thing. Sorry, I know. I put a survey, Mark, onto my social media. Can we just really quickly talk about that? I know we're well over time. Asking buyers, would they prefer to buy property off-market, pre-market, or on those real estate portals? The votes were unanimous.
90%, 85%.
The votes were unanimous. Yes, away from those portals. That's how asked the people.
It was 90% of the people said they would prefer to buy it off portals.
Yep.
Portals being real estate.com domain.
Correct. Interesting. See you guys.
Bye.